Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hallmark Guy podcast. I am Baptiste, the Hallmark Guy, and today I'm going to recap and review the 2026 Hallmark Channel movie. We're going to talk about To Philly with Love, which premiered on Saturday, April 18th, 2026 at 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel as the fifth new 2026 Spring into Love movie, and it starred Rebecca Dalton in her return to Hallmark since Head Over Heels premiered in August 2024, and Stefan Hazard. In the movie, Emily, played by Rebecca, comes to Philadelphia to help with the sale of her late grandmother's house. The woman was part of a group called the Ladies of Liberty Historical Society, and she was working on research on letters from the Revolutionary War between a soldier on the Continental Army and a woman whose parents were against the revolution. The Ladies of Liberty are about to lose their society because they are not getting the support they need anymore. So Emily will work on finding the rest of the letters to present a report to help the ladies get their nonprofit status back. For that, she will get the help of Nate Callahan, played by Stephen, the chief archivist at the National Archives of Philadelphia. Together, they will work on deciphering the letters and find the history of the two writers and their lives in Philadelphia at the time, and they will fall in love. Problem is, Nate will use the letters to prepare a new exhibit, which Emily will not be happy about. Later, when reading the final letters, she realizes that she has to forgive him, and the letters will help the Ladies of Liberty get their status back. Plus, since some of the letters have been found in Emily's grandmother's house, it will become a historical site that the Ladies of Liberty will keep. So, as usual, we're going to start with what worked for me. What worked for me is the cast. I love Rebecca from Good Witch when she played on the show in the first few seasons. In her movie Christmas by Design is one of my favorite Hallmark movies. I really like that one that premiered in 2023. And she makes a ton of made for TV movies. And I wish more of them were for Hallmark. She makes them for like companies and studios, and then they sell them to like streaming or Great American Family and some to Hallmark. So I wish we could see more of her. And just putting out there, let's get Good Witch back on the air. Let's make new Good Witch episodes. I know there were rumor about that going around. Let's do it, you know. But yeah, I love the cast. I love Steven. He's been in like countless Hallmark movies. It's been a while. It had been a while between movies, but he had one last Christmas and one this Christmas, and one this spring. I will say both of them earn, I think, the same grade from me, and it was not a good grade. And it has to do. I'll talk about it later with probably production. But overall, I was excited about the movie because of the cast. There's two people that I really like on Hallmark. And I do not know if the movie was shot in Philly, but they have scenes in front of Liberty Bell, so I would hope it was. Actually, let me look it up because what I appreciate, if it was shot in Philly, I appreciate that because I love when things are shot in location, and I'm looking it up. It was filmed in Philadelphia, featuring scenes at Love Park, Halfrith's Alley, and Independence Hall. Though some viewers noted primarily showcases Century City and Old City, while it features iconic Philly spots, some scenes were reportedly filmed elsewhere, likely shot in Ottawa, Ontario. But I like that apparently it was shot in Philly because if you make Philly the title of the movie and Philly is such a big part of the movie, it has to be shot there. I mean, too many. I mean, Vancouver works for New York for like Christmas movies and stuff like that, but you cannot do better than shooting in an actual city. So I appreciate that they made the effort of shooting in Philly, at least somehow. Now let's move on to what I did not like and the things that I did not care. I watched the movie on the plane back from Vegas. I downloaded the movie on Hallmark Plus, and they said I'll watch it on the plane. So I didn't know where to go. Meaning, I'm kidding. I would have watched the movie anyway. I was like, yeah, I'm not very engaged with the story. It I wrote it wasn't very springy, and I'm kind of going back on that because the weather kind of looked like spring, so I don't have an issue with that. But yeah, I just did not care. And I think the big thing also is we came off of two small towns movies, which I've said countless of times, and I'll say it again. This is the essence of Hallmark. This is what I'm looking for when I'm coming to Hallmark is a small town. and the person coming back to a small town or whatever, person moving to a small town. This is most of the time what I'm looking for. So we came up of two movies that had that whole vibe and feel, and now we're a big city, which is not a problem. But I was so happy with the small town. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't very attracted to the movie. Things to point out. So, when I talked about production earlier, this movie was produced by Studio TF1 America, which has produced other Hallmark movies. Problem is that I think the latest one from Stefan last Christmas, about the glassblower one, um, was also made from them, and I have a hard time with them. There's anywhere else they would be fine. On Hallmark, it's not very right for To Fill You with Love. I'm thinking more of a glassblower one, but most of the times I do not get that full Hallmark vibe. And that's what we come for Hallmark with. So I think that's why it makes it even harder for me. But as soon as I saw Studio TF1 America in the titles at the beginning, I was like, in credits, I was like, oh, and yeah, I their movies are fine, but I don't know that they're Hallmark level. So yeah, and I can think now. I'm thinking of other movies that they made. And I'm like, yeah, this has not been it for Hallmark. Final thoughts. For the cast, I wish I would have liked it more. But I gave it 2 stars, and right now it is ranked at the second worst one of the year so far, above the Love on the Amazon one. Was it called Love on the Amazon? I remember just telling the people I was on the plane with. I think I'm watching the so far second worst. It sounds really bad. Yeah, Love on the Amazon, but second worst one in the ranking so far. Hallmark movie. So yeah, that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments like what you thought of the movie. Like, subscribe, follow the Instagram at the Hallmark Guy Podcast, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.